Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So today I am going to tell about Unit 2. So in the Unit 2, Indian education, historical perspective view of Indian education. So here we will learn about the four or five types: Vedic period, Buddhism, Islamic, Jainism, and yeah, these four types of education we will learn here. And the perspective of Indian education, historical education. So coming to the Vedic period we will learn like the previously our ancestors learned like Gurukula systems and etc. Right. So here the Vedic period in Indian spanned thousands of years and laid the foundation of country's heritage and culture. So, Vedic education is also known as a Gurukula system of education. The Vedic is derived from the Sanskrit means vid. So, vid means which is to follow. So, vid means which is to follow the to be, to virtue, to contain, to feel, to tell, to dwell. The Vedas and Puranas are epics, epic sources for our ancient system. So there are four types of Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharvana Veda, Samaveda. Right? The Rig Veda has a 2048 of hymns, and Atharvana Veda is for the sacrifice. Yajur Veda for the uh, Yajurveda is for the Ayurvedic. Samaveda is for the music. So characteristics are Vedic period has a simple living and its outlooks are pessimistic and optimistic and positive. Its life is revealed and here the religiously, spiritually and simple and kind. So on the next teachers and students are relationship was good here. So the aims are Chitta Vritta Nirvidha, the control of fluctuation minds of one own mind to control the own mind. So Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, the lighten to the knowledge, from the darkness to lighten of the knowledge. So self-control and self-discipline, spiritual growth, development of vocational skills. These are aims of Vedic period. So how the education system in the primary education means. Coming to the education system of primary Vedic period, the primary education is it started at the begins at the home only. It's taught Vedic mantras, mathematic basics and Sandhi knowledge. These are all taught in the primary education. Here higher education, when the primary education is ended, when he going to higher education, then there was a ceremony performed, that Upanayana ceremony performed. Actually here from the 8 years to 25th year, up to 25th year he need to be in the ashrama, higher education only in Vedic period. So here they will taught method of teaching. Coming to the method of teaching, Maukik method. Maukik method means telling. Chintana, Manana, Shravana, Nididhyasana, storytelling, apprenticeship, self-study and research. These are all method of teaching in Vedic period. So coming to the discipline. Discipline in the sense how the students are behavior towards the teacher, how the teachers and people are behaving in ashramas. Brahmacharya ashramam, celibacy. Brahmacharya is nothing but celibacy. So tapasa, sadhana, practicing yajna, practicing of the homas and mantras, everything. Set of rules for the teacher and students should be followed there in the discipline towards the Vedic period. So teacher has occupied the important role. Here he called as a guru or acharya. He was respected as a god. He enjoyed all powers than king. He is more than the king. He was enjoyed over the in Vedic period. The curriculum means what are the subjects are learned in the Vedic period according to the Kautopanishad. So here Paravidya, Aparavidya, there are two types of subjects. Like Paravidya means all Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita, Brahma Vidya, Deva Vidya, everything. Whereas the Aparavidya means the present history, civics, economics, language, literature, chemistry, physics, biology. What are the subjects we are learning present? That is all are known as the Aparavidya. What is the Paravidya means? Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita, everything which is epic sources of our ancestors or our country heritage. So here it is the Vedic period education system. So now coming to the Buddhism. Buddhism is actually founded by the Siddhartha, which is known as a Buddha, famously known as Buddha, from the 6th BCE to the 12th BCE, 12th century onwards. It is started from 6th BE to 12th CE. It is actually the Buddhism is popularly in Sri Lanka, Tibet, India, South Asia. Here everything is located. This Buddhism here actually the Buddhism is uh, like a monks who are wants to the monks teacher, nuns teacher, they all learn in Buddhism education. So Buddhism is education which is developed by the Buddha. So here he discovered the through meditation only what is suffering, main suffering of the causes for suffering. So he learned that, discovered that the problems which are the causes for the suffering. He followed the eightfold rule, that means samyak drishti, samyak vaku, samyak manana, samyak sravana, everything. Eightfold rules are there in the Buddhism. He followed everything, those rules only. And coming to the aims of education, the aims of education means to achieve the enlightenment, nirvana. Throughout the spiritual development, cultivate the wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline, and develop the essence of compassion, loving kindness, and wisdom only. These are the aims of the Buddhism. And characteristics how that is performed, that means holistic approach to the education, physical, mental, spiritual approach to the education, emphasis on personal transformation and self improvement, focus on developing the wisdom and concentration and ethical conduct, encourages critical thinking, inquiry, and self reflection. So education system, previously we learned the Vedic system education system, a Vedic culture education system. Now the Buddhism culture education system has followed that monastic schools and universities. Students lived with the teachers, bhikkhus. They called as bhikkhus in monasteries. So viharas, monastic schools viharas, and universities mahaviharas. Viharas are monastic, that means higher and secondary educations. These are all viharas. And coming to the universities level, mahaviharas. So education was free and supported by the donation and patronage. So coming to the method of teaching, oral tradition, storytelling, and meditation, mindful peaceness practice, and study of scriptures, Pali Canon, Mahayana Sutras, Mahayana Sutras. These are all. So coming to the discipline, emphasis on self-discipline and personal responsibility. Five perspectives like ethical guidelines, non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, and celibacy, and abstaining from intoxicants. And role of teacher, coming to the role of teacher, spiritual guider. The teacher acts as a spiritual guider and mentor. He is the role model for ethical conduct and wisdom. He is encouraged the critical thinking and inquiry. So curriculum, what are the subjects are followed in the Buddhism are Buddhist scriptures like Pali Canon, Mahayana Sutras, etc. The philosophy Abhidhamma and Mahayana teachings, ethics and morality, and meditation and mindfulness practices, and logic and debate. These are followed in the Buddhism culture. Conclusion, to conclude this, Buddhism ancient education is aimed to cultivate wise, compassionate, and enlightened the individuals through a holistic approach, emphasizing the spiritual development, ethical conduct, and wisdom. The education system methods and curriculum were designed to support the aim, with the teachers playing a crucial role as spiritual guides and mentors. This rich educational heritage continues to inspire and influence the educational philosophies and practice of the days. So coming to the Jainism, it is another educational system, ancient one. So it's actually derived before the Buddhism period only. There are 24 Tirthankars. Here the developers are known as the Tirthankars. So first Tirthanka is Rishabhanath and 24th, the last Tirthanka is Vardhaman Mahavira. So in the Jainism, same as aims are, coming to the aims of Jainism are achieve liberation from the soul, moksha, through the spiritual purification, and develop a deep understanding of the universe and reality, cultivate non-violence and truthfulness and self-control. Coming to the characteristics of Jainism, emphasis on a self-study and self-reflection, focus on spiritual growth and personal development, encourages the critical thinking, holistic approach of education. Education system, here the monastic schools, that upashrayas, and universities, mahaviharas. So, though in the previous one, monastic schools are viharas. So, here, upashrayas and universities are mahaviras, viharas. Students lived with the teachers, acharyas in monasteries. Education was free, supported by the donation and patronage. Method of teaching is oral tradition, like lectures, discussion, debates, everything is oral tradition, and storytelling, Jain tales and legends, meditation and self reflection practices, and study of the scriptures, agamas, tattvartha, sutra. Discipline, followed by the students, the emphasis on self discipline, personality, responsibility. Five O's, like ethical guidelines, those are non violence, truthfulness, non stealingness, celibacy, and non possessiveness. So, role of teacher, here the teacher acts as a guide, mentor, role model, and ethical conduct and wisdom. Encourage the critical thinking and inquiry. Curriculum are Jain scriptures are Agamas, Tattvartha Sutra, philosophy, Jain metaphysics and epistemology, ethics and morality, and logic and debate, and mathematics, astronomy. So here the Jainism also aimed at the liberate the soul through the spiritual purification, self-study, and personal development. So coming to the Islamic education, the Islamic education is ancient education has religiously and spiritually relevant. They doesn't recognize and difference based on caste and creed, wealth, etc. They only focused on the education. So they here the Islamic is only the Quran. So they have followed the Quran, right? So seek knowledge and understanding of Allah's creation, develop a deep understanding of the Quran and Hadith, cultivate the moral character, wisdom, and spiritual growth, prepare students for the leadership and community service. So coming to the characteristics, emphasis on the purist pursuit, sorry, coming to the characteristics, emphasis on pursuit of knowledge as a sacred duty. So integration of the faith and learning, focus on the developing critical thinking and reasoning, intellectual curiosity, encourages the individual and collective learning. Coming to the education system of the Islamism, is mosques and masjids are centers of learning. Madrasas, schools, universities, Al-Hajar and Nijamiya. Students lived with the teachers, ulama, and ribaks. Residential quarters are there in the period of Islamism. And method of teaching, oral tradition, like lecture, discussion, same as the previous ones. Memorization and recitation of the Quran, study of hadith, quick fiqh, that means in Arabic language, use of a logic and reason in intellectual inquiry. Discipline, that is followed by the student, a self-discipline, hard work, perseverance, and encouragement of critical thinking and intellectual honesty. Respect for the teachers and the learning process. Role of teacher during this ancient period is spiritual guide. He acts as a mentor, role model, authority on religious and intellectual matters, encouraged critical thinking and intellectually inquiry. Curriculum, the followed subjects are rule followed in the Islamism. Quranic studies and interpretation, Hadith and its application, fiqh and Islamic view, Arabic language and literature, logic, philosophy, theology, mathematics, and astronomy. So these are all Islamic education process. To conclude this, to cultivate the knowledgeable and wise, morally upright individuals who would serve their communities and contribute to the advancement of human civilization. The education system, methods, and curriculum emphasize the pursuit of knowledge, critical thinking, and spiritual growth, with teachers playing a vital role as spiritual guides and mentors. So, coming to the modern period of education. So, modern period of education means some of the greatest philosophers or greatest social activities are given the education philosophy. Those are Aurobindo, Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar, G.D. Krishnamurti, and APJ Kalam. Those are all also given the education philosophy. So coming to the first one is Sri Rabindranath Tagore. So the introduction to Rabindranath Tagore, the biography of the Rabindranath Tagore, when he born and when he died, where he born and everything we need to introduce about the Rabindranath Tagore in here introduction part. So he is the first Nobel literature he has. So he was the poet, writer, philosopher, and educationalist who founded the Visvabharati University in Santiniketan, West Bengal. So, philosophy education, in the words of Rabindranath Tagore, believed that education should be focused on the development of individuals' intellect, creativity, and character. He emphasized the importance of the fostering a love for learning, self-expression, and social responsibility. Coming to this, here also some follow the they followed the aims like previous ones. The heritage of educational culture also followed some aims characteristics. Here also some there are some aims. So to cultivate a sense of freedom and creativity, to develop a love for nature and environment, to foster a sense of social responsibility and community service, to promote the intellectual curiosity, to encourage the self expression and individual. Coming to the method of teaching, here the experimental learning, project based learning, self expression, and fostering a love for nature and outdoors emphasize the importance of art, music, literature in education. So extracurricular activities also here they have to learn. In the curriculum means the methodologies they have followed in this Rabindranath Tagore philosophy. So those are literature, poetry, music and art, and science and nature and study, history, social studies, physical education, and outdoor activities. These are the subjects they have followed in the Rabindranath education philosophy. Discipline, how the students are behaved. Like the Tagore's believed that they have to be relaxed and flexible approach to discipline. Joy, to encourage of own learning and behavior. Conclusion, to conclude that education emphasizes on the development of the individual's creativity and potentiality, intellectual curiosity, and social responsibility. So now coming to the Aurobindo Ghosh, Sri Aurobindo Ghosh point of view of education. Same as previous one, the introduction, we need to introduction part. He is the Indian philosopher, yogi and nationalist who found the Sri Aurobindo Ashrama in Pondicherry, India. He was the pioneer in the field of education and spiritual growth. According to him, the philosophy of education is he believed that education should aim to bring out the divine potential in each individual. So he emphasized the important spiritual growth, self-realization, and development of the inner being. So aims of education, coming to the aims of education, it is to help the students realize their true nature and inner potential. So to develop the four aspects like a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, to cultivate a sense of unity and oneness with all existence, to foster a love for learning and self growth, to prepare the students for a life of service and contribution to the society. So coming to the method of teaching, Sri Aurobindo methods teaching include that integral education, self-learning and self-discovery, guidance from the experienced teachers and mentors, and emphasis on experimentation and experience-based learning, encouraging the students to question and seek the answers. So curriculum, the subjects are followed here are language and literature, history and culture, science and technology, arts and crafts and physical education, and sports and yoga and meditation. Now coming to the MK Gandhi philosophy of education, same as previous one, here to introduce the about the biography of MK Gandhi, where he born, who during which year he has the activist and philosopher educator who played the significant role in India's struggle for freedom. He was a strong advocate for the education, and we need to write include also the philosophies and his writings and notable works and notable awards of the Gandhi. And coming to the philosophy of education, here he believed that education should focus on the development of the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. He emphasized the importance of the character building and self discipline and social responsibility. So, coming to the aims of education, Gandhi aims of education were to develop the student physical, mental, spiritual ability, to foster a sense of social responsibility and citizenship, to promote the self discipline and character building, to encourage the critical thinking and problem solving, to prepare the students for the life of service and contribution of a society. So, the methodology of the teaching here that included that experimental, self directed, community service, and social work, emphasis on manual work and craftsmanship, and encouraging the students to question and challenging the authority. Coming to the curriculum, the methodologies, the subjects which are in the Gandhi's philosophy is basic literacy and numeracy, handicrafts and manual work. Like occasional skills are developed here in the Gandhi's education philosophy, agriculture and gardening, and health and hygienic, and social studies and citizenship education, and moral religious education. So to conclude, the Gandhi's philosophy of education, it emphasized the development of the whole person and social responsibility and the character building. Here his approach is to education aims to prepare the students for the life of service, self discipline, and contribution to the society. So coming to the fourth one is J.K. Krishnamurti, G.D. Krishnamurti. He to introduction here, uh, the G.D. Krishnamurti's biography as a here he was an Indian philosopher, speaker, educator who was founded the Krishnamurti Foundation. He was the prominent figure in the field of education and spiritual growth. So he is actually born in the Madanapalli. Now it is in the Chitturu. So, philosophy of education, according to the Krishnamurti, believed that the education should aim to free the individual from conditioning the limitation, allowing them to think critically and live a life awareness, freedom, and responsibility. The aims which followed here, so, to help the student develop a sense of awareness and observation, thinking, critical thinking, and sense of responsibility and self awareness, and students to encourage the student to question and challenging authority, and to prepare the students for the life of freedom and creativity. So, next one is the method of teaching. Coming to the method of teaching, the dialogue and discussion, question and inquiry, and observation and self reflection, encouraging the students and to explore the discovery, fostering a sense of community and cooperation. These are methodology of teaching and curriculum, humanities and social science, science and technology, arts and creativity, and physical education and wellness, and philosophical inquiry and self-discovery. So coming to the conclusion of Krishnamurti's education philosophy, it is emphasized the importance of awareness and critical thinking and individual freedom. His approach to education aims to prepare the student for the life of responsibility, creativity, self awareness. So, Krishnamurti's ideas on education continue to inspire the educators and institutions around the world. So, coming to the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar philosophy of education, here also we need to introduce all these biography in the introduction section. So now the philosophy of education. Ambedkar believed that education should aim to empower the marginalized communities, foster critical thinking, and promote the social equality. He emphasized the importance of education in achieving the social justice and individual liberation. Coming to the aims of education to empower the marginalized communities like Dalits, women, etc. The caste. He eradicate the caste and creed system, rationalist system. So, to foster the critical thinking and intellectual curiosity, to promote the social equality and justice, to develop a sense of self respect and confidence. So, to prepare the students for the active citizenship and social engagement. So, coming to the method of teaching, here in the Ambedkar method of teaching that include that critical pedagogy, dialogue and discussion, encouraging and questioning resistant and fostering the sense of community and solidarity, and emphasizing the importance of education of social change. So methodology which are followed are social science, political education, history, cultural education, economics and development studies, law and legal rights, and social science and technology. So to conclude that emphasis on the importance of education in achieving the social justice and social changes. So overall social engagement of the society. So coming to the next one, APJ Kalam's. Here the Kalam is a president as well as a aerospace scientist and politician, educator and philosopher also. So according to him, the philosophy of education is to foster the curiosity, creativity, critical thinking. He emphasized the importance of the holistic learning, combining the intellectual, physical, and spiritual development. Aims of education in this in Kalam education is philosophy is to inspire the students and become the curiosity lifelong learners, to foster the internship and to develop the critical thinking and problem solving skills, to promote the value compassion and empathy and social responsibility, to prepare the students for the life of purpose and contribution. So, coming to the method of teaching, encouraging the curiosity, inquiry based learning, and fostering the innovation and experimentation, real world examples, and encourage the collaboration and teamwork, and providing opportunities for hands on learning and skill building. So curriculum, those are science, same as previous one, arts and creativity, language and communication, values and character also. So Kalam's education emphasizes the importance of holistic learning, creativity, critical thinking. His approach to education aims to prepare the students for a life of purpose, innovation and contribution to the society. Kalam's ideas on education continue to inspire the educators and institutions around the world. So if you have any doubts, so here these are all same like every curriculum and method of teaching we need to prepare. If we prepare for once, we can write for the others also, it's the same, but you need to learn about the introduction of the particular philosophers and the curriculum and philosophy of education also, and remaining will be similar, like it looks like similar, so you need to prepare for once, that's enough. For the another also you can write for them, and if any particular idea or a particular point is differs from one another, you need to write for the that also, remember for that point. And if you have any doubt in this second unit, if you can ask me or you can comment in the comment box, or yes, you can comment in the comment box. And thank you for supporting me, and you can share and you can subscribe my channel for more videos like this. I will explain in the next video unit 3 also. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel.